Got to laugh a little, cry a little, before the clouds roll by a little. That's Victoria, that's Victoria.
That's our Edith.
Yes, sir.
Now you better fetch the ice buckets.
Yes, sir.
Did you manage to get the ice out of those little tin trays?
Yes, sir. I had a bit of struggle, but it's all right.
And you refilled the little trays up again with water?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You're making giant strides.
Yes, sir.
Madam Alcott, Mrs. Bradman and I will have our coffee in here after dinner. And Mr. Bradman and Dr. Connerman will have theirs in the dining room. Is that quite clear?
Yes, sir.
And when you're serving dinner, remember to do it calmly and methodically.
Yes, sir.
As you are not in the Navy, it's unnecessary to do everything at the double.
Very good.
Now go get that.
Yes, sir.
Not at the random.
Yes, sir.
No sign of the advancing hordes?
Not yet.
No ice.
It's coming. I've been trying to discourage Edith from being quite so fleet of foot. You mustn't mind if everything's a bit slow motion tonight.
I shall welcome it. The last few days have been extremely agitating. What do you suppose induced Agnes to leave us and go and get married?
The reason was becoming increasingly obvious, dear.
Yes, but in these days nobody cares for that sort of thing. She could have just popped in the cottage hospital, had it, and popped out again.
Her social life had been seriously undermined.
We must keep Edith in the house more.
That's right, Edith. Lay
Yes.
it down on the table.
Yes,
I
sir.
left my cigarette case on my dressing table, Edith. Would you mind going and get it for me?
Yes, sir.
There, now.
You took her by surprise.
A dry martini, I think, don't you?
Yes, I expect Madame Alcott will want something sweeter.
We'll have this one for ourselves anyhow.
Oh dear.
What's the matter?
I have a feeling this evening's going to be awful.
They're probably funny, but not awful.
You must promise not to catch my eye. If I giggle, I'm very likely to ruin everything.
You must, then. You must remain dead serious when possible, or little unbalanced. We can't hurt the ogre's feelings. How funny she is.
But why the Bradman's down? He's as skeptical as we are. Probably said the most dreadful things.
I warned him. We needed more than great people, and we couldn't have invited the vicar and his wife as A, their jury, and B, they probably wouldn't have approved it all. It had to be the Bradmans. Thank you, Edith. Steady does.
Yes, sir.
We might make a walk about with a book on our head like they do with deportment lessons. Here, try this.
Lovely. Dry as a bone.
To the Unseen.
I must say, that's a wonderful title.
If this evening's a success, I shall start on the first draft tomorrow.
How extraordinary it is.
What?
I don't know, being right on the tip of something. It gives one an odd feeling.
Do you remember how I got the idea for the Legos out?
Suddenly seeing that haggard, rattled woman in the hotel of yours. Of course I remember. We sat up half the night talking about it.
She certainly came in very handy. I wonder who she was.
If she ever recognized that description of herself. Poor thing. Here's to her now.
Have enough.
Darling, it's most awfully strong.
Never mind.
You still hear it to be handy when you're thinking something out for me.
Every now and then when she concentrated, but she didn't concentrate very often.
I do wish I'd known her.
I wonder if you'd have liked her.
I'm sure I should. As you talk with her, she sounds enchanting. Yes, I'm sure I should, because every time you talk about her, I've never felt the least jealous of her. That's a good sign.
Poor old Vera.
Does it still hurt when you think of her?
No, not really. I almost kind of wish it did. I feel rather guilty.
What if I died before you grown to you would forget me so soon?
What a horrible thing to say.
No, I think it's interesting.
Well, to begin with, I haven't forgotten Elvira. I remember her very distinctly indeed. I remember how fascinating she was, and how maddening. I remember how badly she played all games, and how cross she got when she did. I remember her charm when she achieved her way over something, and extreme acidity when she had it. I remember her physical attractiveness, which was tremendous, and her spiritual integrity, which is nil.
You can't remember something that was new.
I remember how morally untidy she was.
Was she more physically attractive than I am?
That was a very tiresome question, dear, and fully deserves the wrong answer.
You really are very sweet.
Thank you.
And that's a naive too.
Hi.
Because you expect that I think that Elvira is more physically attractive than I am.
I should have thought any woman would mind if it were true. Or perhaps I'm old-fashioned in my views from psychology.
Not exactly old-fashioned, just a bit didactic.
How do you mean?
It's didactic to attribute contribute to the type of effects of another type. For instance, because you know Elvira might terribly if you found a woman more physically attractive than she was. It doesn't necessarily follow that I should. Elvira was a more physical person than I was. I'm sure it's all a question of the group.
I love you, my love.
I know you do. But it's not this wild stretch of imagination that could describe it as the first fine curved structure.
Would you like it to be?
Good God, no.
Wasn't that a shade too vehement?
We're neither of us adolescent, Charles. We've neither of us led exactly criminal lives, have we? Curved structure at this stage would be incongruous and embarrassing.
I hope I haven't been in any way a disappointment, dear.
Very annoying. You know,
That's exactly what Elvira used to say.
not entirely surprised. Physically triumphant as she was, she was entirely not conception.
Darling Ruth.
There you go again.
As I think I mentioned before, I love you, my love.
Poor Elvira.
Didn't that light camaraderie kiss mollify you at all?
You're very annoying. You know you are. When I said poor Elvira, it came right from the heart. Listen, bewildered her so horribly.
Don't I bewilder you at all?
Never for an instant. I know the trick.
Well then, all I can say is we better get a divorce immediately.
Where's my glasses? There's it go.
She certainly had a great talent for living. It's a pity she died so young.
Poor Elvira.
That remark is getting monotonous.
Poor Charles.
That's better.
Later on, poor Ruth, I expect.
You have no faith, Ruth. Really ought to try to have a little faith.
I shall strain every nerve.
Life without faith is an air business.
How beautifully you've got things, dear.
I am pleased.
I wonder if I died, how long you'd be until you married me.
You won't die. You're not the dying soul.
Neither was Elvira.
Oh, yes, she was. Looking back on her, she had a certain ethereal, not quite of this world quality. Nobody could call you even remotely ethereal.
Nonsense. She was of the earth.
Well, she is now, anyhow.
You know, that's the kind of observation that shocks people.
It's discouraging to think how many people are shocked by honesty, and how few by deceit.
Write that down. You might have.
You underrate me.
Anyhow, it was more of a question of bad taste than honesty.
I was devoted to Elvira, who remained for 5 years. She died. I missed her very much. But that was 7 years ago. I'm now with you, my love. Risen above the whole thing.
Admirable. But if tragedy shall darken our lives, I still say with prophetic foreboding. All right.
Oh, that's probably what happens.
Could be Madame Arcati.
No, she'll come on a bicycle. She always goes everywhere on a bicycle.
It really is spirited of the old girl.
Shall I go, or shall we let Edith have the fling?
Wait a minute, see what happens.
Perhaps she didn't hear.
She's probably on one knee, pre-sprinting position, waiting for the cook to open the kitchen door.
Steady, Edith.
Yes, sir. Dr. and Mrs. Brown.
We're not late, are we? I only got back from the hospital about half an hour ago.
Of course not. Madame Arcati isn't here yet.
That must have been her we passed coming down the hill. I said I thought it was. Then she won't be long. So glad you're able to come.
We've really been looking forward to it. I feel quite excited.
I guarantee that Violet will be good. I made her a promise.
But what's telling me? I'm absolutely thrilled. I've only seen Mama McCarthy 2 or 3 times in the village. I mean, I've never seen her do anything at all peculiar, if you know what I mean.
Draw Martini.
By all means.
She certainly is a strange woman. There's only a chance Marshal Vickers up on seeing her up on Noel on Midsummer's Eve that made me realize she isn't psychic at all. Then I began to make inquiries. Apparently, she's been a professional in London for years.
It is funny, isn't it? I mean, anybody doing it is a profession.
I believe it's very lucrative.
Do you believe in it, Mrs. Von Meyer? Do you really think there's any truth to it all?
I'm afraid not. But I do think it's interesting how people allow themselves to easily be deceived.
Well, she must have been it herself, wasn't she? Or is the whole business a fake?
I suspect the worst. A real professional charlatan. That's what I'm hoping for, anyhow. The character for my book must be a complete imposter. That's one of the most important factors of the whole story.
What exactly are you hoping to get from her?
Jargon, principally. A few tricks of the trade. I haven't been to a seance for years, and I want to refresh my memory.
Then it isn't completely new to you?
No. When I was a little boy, an aunt of mine used to come and stay with us. She imagined that she was a medium and used to go off into the most elaborate trances after dinner. My mother was fascinated by it.
Was she convinced?
Good heavens, no. She just naturally disliked my aunt and loved making a fool of her.
I gather there was never any tangible results.
Oh, sometimes she did do so badly. On one occasion, when we were all sitting around in the pitch dark, mother going away to Shamnada on the piano, my aunt suddenly gave a shrill scream and said that she saw a small black dog sitting beside me. We switched on the lights and sure enough, there was.
How extraordinary.
It was obviously just a stray that had come in, but I did take off my hat, Auntie, for producing it, or rather, utilizing it.
I surely hope Madame Arcati doesn't produce any livestock. We have so very little room in this house.
Do you think she tells fortunes? I love having my fortune told.
I expect so.
I was once told at the pier of South Sea that I was surrounded by lilies in the golden seven. They were good days.
We really must all be serious, and pretend we believe implicitly, otherwise she won't play.
It'd be really fun to upset her as well.
I shall be good as gold.
You ever acted in a drawing? Professionally.
Yes, she had influenza in January. She's only been here for over a year. I must say, she was singularly unpsychic then. I always understood she was not the rest.
Oh, yes. We originally met as colleagues at one of Mrs. Wilmot's Sunday evenings in Sandgate.
What sort of books does she write?
Two sorts, rather whimsical children's stories about enchanted woods with highly conventional flora and fauna, and enthusiastic biographies about minor royalties, very sentimental, reverent, and extremely funny.
Yes, she is.
She knows, doesn't she, about tonight? You're not going to spring it on her.
Of course, it was all arranged last week. I told her how profoundly interested I was with anything to do with people, and she blossomed like a rose.
I'm feeling quite nervous. So I was going to make a speech.
You go and meet her, darling.
I leaned my bike up against that little bush. It would be perfectly all right if no one touches it.
Matt McCartney.
My dear Madam McCarty.
I'm afraid I'm rather late. I had a sudden presentiment that I would have a puncture, so I went back to fetch my pump. And then, of course, I didn't have a puncture at all.
Perhaps you will on the way home.
Dr. Bradman, the man with the gentle hand.
I'm so glad to see you looking so well. This is my wife.
Oh, we're old friends we meet coming out of shops.
Would you like a cocktail?
Oh, if it's a dry martini, yes. If it's a concoction, no. Experience has taught me to be very wary of concoctions.
It is a dry martini.
Oh, how delicious. I had a wonderful time cycling up the woods this evening. I was deafened with birdsong.
It's been lovely all day.
Oh, but evenings of time, mark my words.
Don't you find it tiring bicycling everywhere?
Oh, on the contrary, it stimulates me. I was getting far too sedentary in London in that horrid little flat with the dim lights. They have to be dim, the clients expect it. I must say, I find bicycling very exhausting. Oh, steady rhythm, that's what counts. Once you get the knack of it, you never look back. On you get and away you go. But the hills, Madame Arcati, pushing up those awful hills. Just snap again. Down with your head, up with your heart, and you're over the top like a flash and skimming down the other side like a dragonfly. This is the best dry martini I've had in years.
Will you have another?
Certainly. You are a true artist, Mr. Conrad. Anyone can write a book, but it takes a true craftsman to craft a dry martini that's just right enough.
Are you writing anything nowadays?
Every morning, regular as clockwork, so until 1.
Is it a novel or a memoir?
Oh, it's a children's book. I have to get it done by October to catch Christmas sales. It's mostly about very small animals, the heroes of Wall Street. I had to give up my memoir, Princess Pagliatani, because she died in April. I talked to her about it the other day, and she implored me to go on, but I just hadn't heart. You talked to her about it the other day. Oh, through my control, of course. She sounded very irritable. It's funny to think of spirits being irritable, isn't it? I mean, one can hardly imagine it, can one?
We have no reliable guarantee that the afterlife will be any less exasperating than this one, have we?
Oh, Mr. Condamine, how can you?
I expect it's dreadfully ignorant of me not to ask, but who's Princess Pagliatani?
She was originally a Jewess from Odessa with remarkable beauty. It was a commonly accepted fact that people used to stand in the seats of railway stations just to watch her whiz by.
She was a keen traveler.
In her younger days, yes. That was before she settled down and married a Mr. Clark from the consular office.
So how did she become Princess Pagliatani?
Oh, that was years later, after Mr. Clark had passed over and left her penniless with 2 strapping girls.
Oh, unpleasant.
And then what was left but to listen to the beckoning finger of adventure and take to the road again. So off she went, bag and baggage to Vladivostok.
What an extraordinary place to go.
She had cousins there. And that was where she met old Pagliatani, who had just been returning from a secret mission in Japan. He was immediately struck by her beauty and married her shortly after. That's when her life became really interesting.
I should hardly describe this dull before.
What happened to the girls?
Oh, she neither saw them nor spoke to them for 23 years.
How extraordinary.
I shouldn't say so. She was always very erratic emotionally.
Didn't it happen?
Thank you, Edith.
very inbred, you know. Yes, she must have been. My control was quite scared when we were talking the other day. I could hear it in her voice. After all, she's only a child.
So you always have a child to control.
Yes, children are generally the best, especially once they get to know you and learn your ways. Daphne has worked with me for years.
And she still goes on being a child? I mean, she doesn't show any signs of growing any older.
Time values on the other side are far different from ours.
Do you feel funny when you go into a trance?
In what way funny?
Mrs. Bradley doesn't mean funny in a comic implication. I think she means rather strange.
The word was an unfortunate choice.
I'm sure I'm very sorry.
Oh, don't apologize. It's not, doesn't matter in the least.
So, when did you realize you had these most extraordinary powers?
When I was quite tiny. My mother was a medium before me, you know, so I had every opportunity starting from the ground floor, as you might say. I had my first trance when I was 4 years old and my first ectoplasmic manifestation when I was 5 and a half. What an exciting day that was. I shall never forget it. Of course, the manifestation itself was of a short duration, but for a child of my tender years, it was most gratifying.
Your mother must have been so pleased.
She was.
Have you thought of the future?
Oh, certainly not. I disapprove of fortune tellers most strongly.
Oh, really? Why?
Too much fake and guesswork mixed up with it, even when the gift is genuine, which it very rarely is. You can't count on it.
Why not?
Time again. Time is the reef upon which all our frail mystic ships are wrecked.
You mean because it has never yet been proved that the past and the present and the future are not one and the same thing?
I long ago came to the conclusion that nothing has ever been quite proven about anything.
How extraordinary. I want you to leave the tables as it is for tonight. You can clear it in the morning.
Yes, sir.
And we do not want to be disturbed for the next hour or so for any reason whatsoever. Is that quite clear?
Yes, sir.
And if anyone should telephone, tell them to leave a message and we're out.
Oh, this is an urgent call for George.
Unless it's an urgent call for Dr. Rabbit.
Yes, sir.
There isn't likely to be one, is there?
No, I don't think so.
Once we're off into the matter, but an interruption during the preliminary stages can be most disastrous.
I wish the men would hurry up. I'm terribly excited.
Oh, please, don't be. It makes everything much, much more difficult.
Well, Madam McCarthy, the time is drawing near.
Who knows? It may be receding.
I hope you feel in the mood, Madam Body.
It is not a question of mood, it's a question of concentration.
You must forgive us for being insanely impatient. But we can perfectly easily wait until you're ready.
Oh, nonsense, my dear. I'm perfectly ready. Hi-ho, to work we go.
Is there anything you'd like us to do?
Do.
Yes, hold hands or anything?
All that will come later. First, let's take a few deep breaths. You may talk amongst yourselves if you wish. It won't disturb me in the least.
An excellent dinner, darling. I must congratulate you.
This will be quite right.
It looked a bit hysterical, but it tasted delicious.
That cuckoo is very angry.
I beg your pardon?
I said that cuckoo is very angry. Listen,
How can you tell?
timbre. No moon dances well. There's mist rising from the marshes. I won't have to light my bicycle lamp, will I? There's no one likely to trip over it.
Was not expecting anybody.
Good night, you foolish bird. Do you have a table?
Yes, we thought that one would do.
This is the moment I always hate.
Are you nervous?
Yes, when I was a child, I used to get sick.
How fortunate you that you grabbed it.
Children are always much more prone to be sick than adults, though, aren't they? I could never travel in any safety degree until I was 14.
Little Tommy Tucker sings for his supper. What shall he have with brown bread and butter? I always hated that one because it didn't rhyme at all, but Daphne loves it.
Who's Daphne?
Daphne is Madame Coffee's control. She's a little girl.
Oh, yes. I see course.
How old is she?
Rising 7 when she died.
And what was that?
February the 6th, 1884.
She must be a bit long in the tooth, I should think.
You should think, Dr. Bradman, but I fear that you don't. He's not profoundly enough. Do be quiet, Doctor. Put back our cards up. Oh, don't worry, my dear. I'm quite used to skeptics. They generally turn out to be the most receptive in the long run.
Please forgive me, Madam Patty. I'm most deeply interested.
Oh, it's not of the least importance. Don't apologize. Now, if you will all sit around the table and place your hands gently upon it. The fingers should be touching. Yes. I assume that's the gramophone, Mr. Conway?
Yes, would you like me to start it? It's another one.
No. I can manage. Now, let me see. What have we here? Brahms? Oh, dear, you know. Rachmaninoff? Too Lord. Where's all the dance music?
There's a little to the left.
Oh, I see.
I'm afraid that none of them very new.
Oh, it's all right. Daphne's more attached to Irving Berlin than anybody else. She likes the two she can hum. Oh, here's one. Always.
Always?
Oh, sit down. What's the matter with you?
Nothing. No.
The light switch is by the door.
Yes. All except the small one on the desk and the gramophone.
Now, before we begin, there are a few things I should like to let you know, so will you all pay close attention?
Of course.
Presently, when the music begins, I shall turn off the lights. I may then either walk about the room or lie down flat. In due course, I shall put up that thin little stool and place it between you and your wife, Mr. Columbine. I must ask you not to address me, or move, or do anything in the least bit distracting. Is that quite clear?
Perfectly.
I cannot promise anything will happen. Daphne might be unreachable. She had a head cold recently and was rather under the weather, poor child. But then again, a great many things might occur. One of you might have an emanation, for instance, or it might contact a poltergeist, which would be extremely destructive and noisy.
In what way destructive?
They throw things, you know.
No, I didn't know.
Oh, but we shall cross that bridge when we get there, shan't we?
Certainly, by all means.
Fortunately, an elemental at this time of year is most unlikely.
What do elementals do?
Oh, my dear, one can never tell. They're enormously cunning, you know. They sometimes come in the form of a cold wind.
I don't think I should like that.
Sometimes reaching hurricane velocity.
You don't think it would be a good idea to take more grateful ornaments off the mantelpiece before we start?
Oh, Mrs. Clementine, I assure you, I have my own ways of dealing with elementals.
So very glad.
Now, are you ready to empty your minds?
Do you mean we have to think of nothing?
Absolutely nothing, Dr. Bradman. Try to focus on a shape or a nondescript color, which is usually the best way.
I'll do my damnedest.
Good work. Now, for the music. Lights.
Oh dear.
Shh. Is there anyone there? Is there anyone there? One rap for yes, two raps for no. Now then, is there anyone there? Oh, good stuff. Daphne, is that you? Is your cold better, dear? Oh, I'm sorry, she's rather fretful. Is there anybody there that wishes to speak to anybody here? Is it me? Is it Dr. Bradman? Is it Mrs. Bradman? Is it Mrs. Condamine? Oh, Daphne, stop that. Behave yourself. Is it Mr. Condamine? Mr. Condamine, there's someone here that wishes to speak to you.
Tell them to leave a message.
I must ask you not to be so flippant, Mr. Condamine.
How quiet, just spoil everything.
Sorry, it's doubt.
Now, do you know of anyone who might have passed over recently?
Not recently, except my cousin in the civil service, although he won't be likely to wish to talk to me. We haven't spoken for years.
Are you Mr. Condamine's cousin from the civil service? I am afraid we've drawn a blank. Anyone else? Rock your brains.
They called me old Mrs. Plummet. She died on which Monday.
Are you old Mrs. Plummet?
She's rather deaf. Perhaps you're about to shout.
Don't they always?
Why ever not, Charles? Don't be absurd.
I'm afraid it would be rather imprudent to change horses midstream, if you know what I mean.
Have a young lady.
Little Tommy Tucker sings for his supper. What shall he have for brown bread and butter?
That should be Daphne. Sure to have Adelaide down. George, please.
Good God!
Here.
We do pick it up or leave it where it is?
How the hell do I know?
Does somebody snap at me? Leave it where it is.
Who said that?
Who said what?
Somebody said we were it.
Nonsense, dear.
I heard it distinctly.
Nobody else did, did they?
It was you. You played tricks.
I'm not doing anything of the sort, I haven't uttered.
Good evening, Charles.
Ventriloquism. That's what this is.
What
Ventriloquism.
on earth is the matter with you?
This is intolerable. I can't bear this another minute. Get up, everybody. The entertainment's over.
Charles, how tiresome. Just when we were beginning to enjoy ourselves.
Never again. That's all I can say. Never again as long as I live.
Did you hear anything that we didn't hear? Really?
Of course not. It was only a joke.
I know you don't.
Oh dear, let's remember our party.
What do we do with her?
I think we better leave her alone.
Does she
Bring
like
her
to
out.
like that for hours?
Bring her around. Bring her around as soon as possible.
She's out, all right?
Bring her around. It's dangerous to leave her like that. Give me some brandy. Give me some brandy.
Hey!
Help me into this chair. Wake up, Madam McCarthy. Little Tommy Tucker.
Here's the bread.
Wake
Charles,
up.
nothing of the bread of the bread.
She's coming round.
Well, that's that. Are you alright?
Yes, yes, I feel comfortable after that. What's that weird taste in my mouth?
We got some more brandy.
Oh, so that's what it was. Huh, fancy allowing them to give me brandy after a trance, Dr. Bradley. You should have known better. I shan't be able to sleep at night as it is.
I know I shan't.
Why on earth not?
The whole experience has unhinged me.
Well, what happened? Was it satisfactory?
Nothing much happened, Madam McCarthy, after you went off.
Huh, interesting. No apparitions. No emanations, that's well. No. Any ectoplasm?
I'm not sure what the quite is. I don't think so.
Huh, I do feel as though something tremendous happened.
Charles pretended to hear a voice in order to frighten us.
It was only a joke.
Very poor one, if I should say so. Nevertheless, I am prepared to say that there is someone else psychic in this room apart from myself.
I don't really see how that can be.
Oh dear, I do hope I haven't gone and called anything. But anyway, if I did, we are likely to find out in a day or two. If you hear any strange noises in the night, make sure to give me a call immediately.
Of course, we'll telephone immediately.
I really do think I should be on my way now.
You wouldn't like anything before you go?
Oh no, I have some Ovaltine on the stove. It just needs a bit of potting up.
Wouldn't you like to leave your bicycle here and let us drive you?
I really do think we should have our party. After that trance and everything, you can't be feeling quite yourself.
Oh, nonsense, my dear. I always feel capital after a trance. It rejuvenates me. Oh, goodbye, Mrs. Carmine.
It was lovely for you to take so much trouble.
Oh no, I enjoyed it. I'm so sorry so little happened. Goodbye, Mrs. Bradley.
It was thrilling, it really was. I felt the table absolutely shaking under my hands.
Congratulations, Madam McCarthy.
I noticed the irony in your voice. You know what? You'd be the perfect candidate for a study my friend is doing on telepathic hypnosis. I should like to give you a call.
I'm sure I should be charmed.
Good night, everyone. Next time, let's really put our backs into it.
Oh dear. Oh, Mrs. Connell, what you I can't tell if I really can. I've been holding this in for ages.
And she certainly put you in your place, George, and serves you right.
She's mad, of course. Mad as a hatter.
But do you so much more does what you make of us, what I was talking about.
Elementals.
Oh, of course not. It couldn't be. She certainly said it was a wrong time of year for elementals.
Well, the Ogo's gone pedaling down the drive at hell speed. We had a bit of trouble lighting the alarm.
What day?
I've got a theory about her, you know. I believe she's completely sincere.
How could she be?
Would it be possible, Doctor, some form of self-hypnotism?
Yes, as I was explaining to your wife just now, there are certain types of hysterical subjects.
George, dear, it's terribly late. We really must get going.
You see, the moment I begin to talk about anything that really interests me, my wife interrupts me.
You know I'm right, darling. It's past 11.
You sure you wouldn't like anything before you go?
No, we really must be off. I have to wake up abominably early tomorrow morning. I have a patient being operated in the counterbearer.
Sure.
It was such a thrilling evening. It was so sweet of you to include us.
You sure you wouldn't like a drink or anything?
No, no thank you.
We'll let you know if you find any poltergeists floating about.
I shall never forgive you if you did it.
Come on, darling.
Well, darling,
Well,
would you say this evening's been profitable?
yes, I suppose so.
I would like to say it's extremely funny at moments.
Yes, it certainly was.
What's the matter?
The matter?
Yes, seem old how are you feeling quite well?
Perfectly. I think I'll have a drink if you want one.
No, thank you.
It's rather chilly in this room.
Come over by the fire.
I don't think I'll make any notes tonight. I'll start fresh in the morning. Good God!
Charles!
Very pleasant, George, dear.
Elvira, it was true, it was you.
Well, of course it was.
Charles, what are you talking about?
You ghost?
I suppose I must be. It's not very confusing.
Charles, what do you keep looking over there for? What's happened?
Don't you see?
See what?
Elvira.
Oh, Vera!
Yes, Elvira, dear, this is Rouge. This is Elvira.
Come sit down, darling.
You mean to say you can't see her?
Charles, I want you to come. Quiet, and sit down by the fire. I'll make you another drink. Don't worry about the mess. You can clean it up in the morning.
Oh my God. I've gone mad. That's it. I've just gone raving mad.
What is the matter with you?
Nothing's the matter with me. Can't you see?
See what?
Elvira.
Charles, if this is a joke, it's gone quite far enough. Go sit down. I'll mix you a drink.
Why are you so anxious for me to sit down? What good would that do?
I want you to relax. You can't relax standing up.
Oh, well, the Megas can. They can stand on one leg for hours.
I don't happen to be a flamingo.
You don't happen to be a
A
what?
flamingo!
What's that got to do with this?
It doesn't matter, Ruth, really. It doesn't matter. Say no more about it. See? Sat down.
Would you like some more brandy?
Yes, please.
Very unwise. You always had a weak head.
I could drink you under the table.
There is no need to be aggressive, Charles. I'm doing my best to help you.
Sorry.
Here, drink this. Then we'll go to bed.
Ugh, get rid of her, Charles. Then we can talk in peace.
That's a thoroughly immoral suggestion. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
What's immoral in that?
I wasn't talking to you.
Who were you talking to then?
Elvira, of course.
To hell with Elvira.
Then now she's getting cross.
I don't blame her.
What don't you blame her for?
Oh my God.
Now look here, Charles. I gather you've got some sort of plan behind it, because I'm not quite a fool. I suspected you when we were doing that idiotic seance.
Don't be so silly. What plan could I have?
I don't know. Something to do with the characters in your books and how they one of them would react to a situation like this, and I'm not to be used as a guinea pig unless I warn beforehand what it's all about.
Elvira's here, Ruth. She's standing a few yards away from you.
I can see her distinctively under the piano with the zebra.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to stay here arguing any longer.
Hooray!
Shut up.
How dare you speak to me like that?
No, Ruth, please.
You know, I'm going up to bed. I just can't be in it any longer. I shall be asleep. I'm too upset. You can turn out the lights and you can come say goodnight to me if you feel like it.
That's big of her, I must say.
Be quiet. You're behaving like I got a snipe.
That is all I have to say. Good night.
Ruth.
That is one of the most enjoyable half hours I have ever spent.
Oh, Elvira, how could you?
What, really?
must admit, it'll be embarrassing.
Don't see why. It's all a question of adjusting yourself. Anyhow, I think it's hard of you to be so welcoming and disagreeable.
Now look here, Elvira.
Oh, dude, I think you're mean.
Try to see my point, dear. I've been married to Ruth for 5 years, and you've been dead for 7.
Not dead, Charles. Passed over. It's considered vulgar to say dead where I come from.
Pass it over then.
At any rate, now that I'm here, the least you can do is make a pretense of being amiable about it.
Of course, my dear. I'm delighted in one way.
Don't believe you love me anymore.
I sure always loved the memory of you.
You mustn't think me unreasonable. Really. But I was a little hurt. You called me back, and out of great inconvenience, I came. And you've been thoroughly dreaded ever since I arrived.
Believe me, Elvira, I most emphatically did not send for you. There's been some mistake.
Well, somebody did, and that awful child said it was you. I remember. I was playing badminton with a very sweet old Asian gentleman. I think his name was Genghis Khan. And I had just thrown double sixes, and the next thing I knew, that child came and hit me. And I was in this room. Perhaps it was your subconscious.
It was all a mistake. Horrible mistake.
I believe you.
I didn't mean for this. Try,
I can't see how.
well, try to think. Isn't there anybody over there on the other side, or whatever it's called, who could advise you?
I told you I can't think.
You must know somebody else besides Genghis Khan.
It just seems so far. So I dreamed it.
Oh my God.
Oh, Charles.
What is it?
I want to cry. Every time I think I'm able to.
What do you want to cry for?
It's seeing you again and you being so irascible as it always used to be.
I don't mean to be irascible, Elvira.
Darling. Never mind, really.
Is it cold, being a ghost?
No, I don't think so.
What happens if I touch you?
Hi, taught it again. Do you want to?
Hello, Elvira.
What is it, darling?
Really do feel strange seeing you again.
That's better.
What's better?
Your voice was kinder.
Was I ever kind to you when you were alive?
Often.
Oh, how kind you? I'm sure that's an exaggeration.
Not at all. You actually hit that one time with the Cornwall. It's like that awful hotel. You hit me with a billiard cue.
Only very, very gently.
I loved you very much.
I loved you too. No, I can't touch you. Isn't that horrible?
Perhaps it's as well if we're going to stay in length of time.
I suppose I shall wake up eventually, but I feel strangely peaceful now.
That's right. Jennifer.
Like that.
Can you feel anything?
Only a very little breeze through my hair.
That's better than nothing.
I suppose if I'm really out of my mind, they'll put me in an asylum.
Don't worry about that. Just relax.
Poor Ruth.
To hell with Ruth.
Good morning, darling.
Morning, Charles.
It certainly is.
What does it mean? What?
Good morning. Tremendously good morning. The sun is shining, there's not a cloud in the sky, and everything looks newly washed.
You're just keeping your breakfast on to let it rain.
Anything interesting in the Times?
Don't be silly, Charles.
I intend to work all day.
Good.
It's extraordinary about daylight, isn't it?
How do you mean?
It reduces everything to normal.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Sure, I'm very glad to.
You are very glacial this morning.
Are you surprised?
Frankly, yes. I expected more of you.
Oh, really?
I've always looked upon you as a woman of perception and understanding.
Oh, this is one of my own things.
Good morning, Edith.
Good morning, sir.
Feeling fit?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
How's good?
I don't know, sir. I haven't asked her.
You should. You should begin every day by asking everyone how they're going. It always the wheel.
Yes, sir.
Greet it for me, will you?
Yes, sir.
That will be awful for you to do.
Yes, sir.
Wish you would be facetious with the services. Uses them and undermines the morale.
I consider that point of view retrogressive, if not downright futile.
I don't care what you consider it. I have them in the house and you don't.
Are you implying I could?
You're at liberty to try.
I take back what I said about being a good morning. It's a horrid morning.
You better eat your breakfast while it's still hot. be equally as nauseating, but certainly more appropriate.
I'd say what I've done.
You behaved abominably last night, wounded and insulted me.
I was the victim of an aberration.
You were drunk.
Drunk.
You had 4 strong dry martinis before dinner, a great too much daily though in the afternoon, having to know so much portrait people with Dr. Bradley while I was doing my best to entertain that mad woman. And who, double brandy later, I gave to achieve myself. Of course you were right.
So that's the story, is it?
You refused to come to bed, and finally when I came up there at 3 in the morning to see what had happened to you, I found you in an alcoholic coma with fire out in your hair all over your face.
I was not in the least drunk, Ruth. Something happened to me. Something very peculiar happened to me.
Nonsense.
It isn't nonsense. I know it looks like nonsense, and I'm clear of most of today, but last night it was far from being nonsense. I honestly had some sort of hallucination.
I would really rather not discuss this any further.
But you must discuss it. It's rather disturbing.
There I can agree with you. It showed you up in the most unpleasant light, and I find that extremely disturbing.
I swear to you that during the seance I was convinced I heard Elvira's voice.
You couldn't have.
I know I couldn't have, but I did. And later on, I was equally convinced that I saw her in this very room. We quite the cozy little chat after you'd gone up.
And you expect me to believe that you were not drunk?
I know I wasn't drunk. If I had been drunk, I should have a dreadful hangover now, shouldn't I?
I'm not entirely sure that you haven't.
I haven't got a trace of a headache, and my tongue's not in the least coated. See?
I would really rather not. Have the least desire to look at your tongue. Kindly put it in again.
I know what it is. You're frightened.
Right. Rubbish. What's there to be frightened of?
Elvira. You wouldn't have minded all that much even if I had been drunk, but it was all muddled up with Elvira.
I seem to remember telling you last night before dinner that your view on female psychology was rather didactic. I was right. Should have asked if they were pure.
That was when it all began.
When what told me that?
We were talking too much about Elvira. It's dangerous to have someone strongly in mind when dabbling with the occult.
She certainly wasn't strongly in my mind.
She wasn't mine.
She was she?
You tried to make me say that she was more physically attractive than you. That way you could hold it over me.
I did not. I don't give a hoot how physically attractive she was.
Oh yes, you do. Your whole being is devoured with jealousy.
This is too much.
Women! My God, what I think of women.
Your view on women is academic segmented. Just because you've been dominated by them your whole life doesn't mean you necessarily know anything about them at all.
I've never been dominated by anyone.
You were hag-ridden by your mother until you were 23. Then you got into the clutch of that awful whatever her name was.
Mrs. Winthrop Blithe.
I'm not interested. Then there was Elvira. She ruled you like rod of iron.
Elvira never ruled anyone. She's much too elusive. Not one of Grave's charms.
Then there was Maud Shelter.
My affair with Maud Shelter lasted exactly 7.5 weeks, and she spent the whole time crying.
Tyranny of tears. Then there was.
If you wish to make an inventory of my sex lately, I must inform you you've missed out several episodes. I shall consult my diary and give you the fullest after lunch.
I wouldn't have the least desire to look into and die.
The only woman in my entire life who's ever tried to dominate me is you, Ruth. You've been at it for years.
That is completely untrue.
Oh, no, it isn't. You boss me and bully me and order me about. You don't even allow me to have an hallucination if I want to.
Charles, alcohol will ruin your life if you let it get to you.
Once and for all, Ruth, I must inform you that what happened last night had nothing whatsoever to do with alcohol. You very adroitly rationalized everything for your own satisfaction because your assumptions are based on complete fallacy. I'm willing to grant you that what happened last night was some sort of aberration, some sort of psychic delusion brought on by auto-suggestion and hypnosis. I was stone cold sober from first to last and extremely upset into the bargain.
You are upset indeed. What about me?
You, being of the stone of tooth lack of reasoning that frankly shocked me.
I consider that I was remarkably patient. I shall know better next time.
Instead of coming down to gentle camaraderie and guiding you shouted staccatos or orders at me like a sergeant major.
You were drunk, Charles.
I was not drunk!
Be quiet. They will hear you in the kitchen.
I don't care if they meet me in the boats downtown center. I was not drunk.
Control yourself, Charles.
How? How can I control myself in the face of the idiotic damn stubbornness? It's giving me
You
claustrophobia.
better ring up Dr. Brad.
Can I come, please?
Yes.
Don't want to go back lunch, Mum.
Be in for lunch, Charles.
Oh, no. Please don't worry about me. I should be perfectly content with a bottle of gin in my bedroom.
Don't be silly, Charles. Tell the cook we shall breakfast.
Yes, sir.
Going to the Hive this morning. Is there anything you want?
Oh, yes, a great deal. But I doubt we could get in Hive.
Tell cook to pack out herself some minutes. Will you read it?
Yes, sir.
It's clouding over.
You have a genius founder statement. did.
I'm willing to concede then that you imagined.
That's what I've been trying to convince you for the last few hours.
There's obviously something wrong with you.
Exactly, there's something wrong with me, something fundamentally wrong with me. That's why I've been employing you something, and all I got was a sterile chemicals lecture.
Charles, you were drunk. There's no denying that.
No more than usual.
How do you account for that?
I can't account for it. That's what's so awful.
Perhaps you ought to see a nerve specialist.
I'm not the least neurotic and never have been.
Psychoanalyst.
I refuse to go through months of expensive humiliation, only to be told at the end of it that at the age of 4 I was in love with my rocking horse.
What do you suggest then?
I don't suggest anything. Profoundly uneasy.
Perhaps there's something pressing in your brain.
There was something pressing on my brain. I should get violent headaches now, shouldn't I?
Not necessarily. An uncle of mine had a lung that's been pressing in his brain for years, and he never felt a thing.
I know I shouldn't have had something like that.
You didn't.
What happened to him?
I think he had it taken out. Yes, he had it taken out, and he's been right as a button ever since.
Did he have any sort of delusions? Did he see things that weren't that?
I don't think so.
Then what the hell are we talking about him for? It's a sheer waste of valuable time.
I only brought him up as an example.
I think I'm going mad.
How do you feel now?
Physically, do you mean?
Altogether.
Let's see. Apart from being worried, I feel quite normal.
You're not seeing or hearing anything the least unusual?
Not a thing. My God.
Now.
She's here again.
Who's here again?
Elvira.
Control yourself, Charles. Put yourself together. Look at these nasturtiums. They're so vulgar.
I like nasturtiums.
You like what? They're all right in moderation, but you must like that. They look beastly.
Oh, you've got to help me.
What did you get about nasturtiums?
Never mind about that now. I can tell you she's here again.
You've been having a nice day, haven't you? I can hear you right down from the garden.
Please mind your own business.
If you behave like a lunatic, it's not my business, nothing is.
Please.
I expect it was about me, wasn't it? I know I ought to feel sorry, but I'm not. I'm delighted.
How can you be so inconsiderate?
Inconsiderate? I like that, I must say.
Ruth, please.
I've done everything to control myself, and I'd like to say here and now that I don't believe a word about your damn hallucinations. You're up something, Charles. I sensed it in your furtiveness. So why don't you tell me what's really going on?
I haven't been the least bit of.
You're trying to upset me. You're trying to goad me into doing something on my regret.
No.
And it won't stand for any longer. You're making me utterly miserable.
Ruth, please.
Don't come anywhere near me. Let's have a nice cry. Do good.
You're utterly heartless.
Liz.
I was not talking to you.
Talk to Elvira then. Talk to you blue in the face, but don't talk to me.
Help me, Elvira. You must help me.
How?
Make her see you or something.
I'm afraid I couldn't manage that. It's actually the most difficult business. Practically complicated, you know. Takes years of study.
You are here, aren't you? Not an illusion.
Or maybe an illusion, but it's definitely here.
How did you get here?
Did you last night? I don't exactly know.
Well, you must promise me that in the future you'll only come talk to me when I'm alone.
How kind you are, making me feel so unwanted. I've never been treated so weirdly.
Elvira, please.
It's your own fault for having married a woman who's capable of seeing beyond the nose of her face. If she had a greater real sympathy or affection for you, she would believe what you tell her.
How can you expect anybody to believe this?
You'd be surprised how gullible people are. We often laugh about it on the other side. Charles,
Yes, dear.
I'm awfully sorry it's cross.
Oh, my dear.
I understand everything you've done. I do really.
You do.
Of course I do. Look at her. She's up to something.
Will you please be quiet?
Of course, we'll be quiet. Quiet is nice.
Ruth, please.
I just want you to come quietly up to bed.
What are you up to?
Not up to anything. I just want you to come quietly up to bed until Dr. Bradley comes.
No, Ruth, you're wrong.
Come, dear. The way that woman hops on bed is nothing short of erotic.
Help me, Elvira. Please.
Oh, well, my dear, it would have pleasure, but I can't say how.
I can. Ruth, I'll just go upstairs. You let me stay down here for 5 minutes longer.
I really think it would be better.
Bear with me. I'm mad at my scene. Just bear with me. Just 5 minutes longer.
Very well.
Sit down. All right, now listen. Listen carefully.
I'm not so relaxed. I'm still nervous.
I don't want a cigarette.
Then you shan't have it.
Listen, Ruth. whatever you'd like to call it, my first wife Elvira is in this room now.
Yes, dear.
I know you don't believe me. I'm trying valiantly to humor you, but I intend to prove it to you.
Why don't we go and talk about this later on?
She may not be here later on.
Don't worry. She will.
Oh God.
Dear.
Promise you'll do what I ask?
I don't know what it is.
Ruth, you see that bowl of flowers over there on the piano?
Yes, I did them this morning. They're inside here, I may say so.
You may not.
Well, then I never will again.
Elvira will not take that to the monkey's market again. We will do that, Elvira, just to please me.
I don't see why I should. You've been quite insufferable ever since I arrived.
Please.
Fine. Here's this one. Not that I approve of all these deviants and lesbians carrying on.
Now, Ruth, watch carefully. Go on, Elvira, take it to the masterpiece and back again.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
What on earth for?
It's a trick. I know perfectly well it's a trick. You've been working up to this. It's all part of some horrible plan.
You're wrong. You're not wrong. Elvira, do something else for God's sake.
Certainly, anything to oblige. You're trying to.
No, Ruth.
You're trying to drive me out of my mind.
No.
You're trying to do everything in my power to get rid of me.
No.
You are cruel and sadistic, and I will never think
No,
of
no, no.
I gotta get out of here.
Ruth, no, Ruth, please.
Let me go.
No,
Let me go
Ruth.
immediately.
Ruth, please, don't let me out. I swear it was. Please, Ruth. Ruth.
This is madness. This is sheer madness. This is unbelievable. What a suggestion, isn't it? Sweat me until now. Sweat me until now. Oh, hypnotism, my fuck.
Oh, my dear Mrs. Condovine, I came directly. I got your message.
So very kind of you.
Oh, kind? Nonsense. Nothing kind about it. I look upon it as an outing.
This one, would you like some tea?
Oh, yes, certainly. That was really interesting. Very interesting. I noticed it the other night.
She thought of her as a surprise.
Have you ever been to Camden Manor?
Right, I haven't.
That's interesting too. Strikes like a blow between the eyes the moment you walk into the drawing room. 2 lumps of sugar, please, and no milk at all.
I'm profoundly disturbed about that part, and I want your help.
Oh, I thought as much. What's in these sandwiches?
Cucumber.
Oh, could it be better? Fire away.
It's most awfully difficult to explain.
Facts first, explanations afterwards.
It's the facts that are difficult. They're so fantastic.
Facts very often are. Take creative talent, for example. How do you account for that? Look at Shakespeare, Michelangelo. How do you account for Mozart snatching sounds out of the air and placing them down on paper when he was practically a baby? Facts. Plain facts. I know it's a fashion nowadays to ascribe it all to bland, but to that I say, fiddle-dee.
Yes, sure, quite right.
There is more to heaven in that than is under your philosophy, Mrs. Condovine.
There certainly are.
Come now, take the plunge, out of it. You've heard strange noises in the night, no doubt. Boards creaking, doors slamming, subdued moaning in the passages, is that it?
No, I'm afraid it isn't.
No sudden gusts of cold wind, I hope.
It's worse than that.
I'll come all attention.
It sounds idiotic, but the other night, during the seance, something happened.
Ah, I thought as much. Probably a poltergeist. They're enormously cunning, you know.
You know my husband was married before?
Yes, I've heard it mentioned.
His first wife, Elvira, died comparatively young.
Where?
Here, in this house, in this very room.
Oh, I'm beginning to see daylight.
She was convalescing one night after having pneumonia. She started laughing helplessly at the BBC musical program and just died of a heart attack.
And she appeared last night after I'd gone.
Not to me, but to my husband.
Oh, capital, capital! Oh, that's splendid!
I can see how this is regarded as a major achievement in your position.
A triumph, my dear. No more, no less than a triumph.
But from my point of view, Madame Arcati, it's still the least to say that embarrassing.
At last, a genuine materialization.
Please sit down, Madame Arcati.
How can anyone sit down at a moment like this? It's tremendous. I haven't had such success since the Sudbury case.
Nevertheless, I must insist upon you sitting down and controlling your natural experience. While I appreciate fully in your private achievements, but
I'm afraid that's easier said than done.
You mean she's liable to stay indefinitely?
It's hard to say. I think it depends largely on her. Where is she now?
I don't know. They went to the Folkestone to see an old friend of hers staying at the Grand.
Forgive this formality, but I shall have to make note of this for the Psycho Research Society.
I'd be very much obliged if there were no names mentioned.
Oh, the report will be confidential.
This is a small village, you know. Gossip. That's undesirable.
Oh, I understand. You say she's visible only to your husband?
Yes.
Visible only to husband. Audible too, I presume.
Extremely audible.
Extremely audible. Your husband was devoted to her?
I believe so. They were a reasonably happy marriage.
Husband devoted. Oh. When did she pass over?
7 years ago.
Oh, then she must have been on the waiting list.
Waiting list.
Yes. She would probably marked herself down for a return visit and wouldn't have been able to manage unless a strong psychic force wished her back.
You're telling me, Charles, my husband really would have wanted her back all that much?
It could be, or it might have been her own determination. Would you say she was a woman of strong character?
I don't really know about her. I've never really met her. Nor am I particularly interested in doing so. I'm solely concerned with the question of how to get her out of my house as soon as possible.
I fully sympathize with Mrs. Condamine, but I fear I cannot offer such great hopes.
Why is that?
I mean, there was an old method, the commonly referred to as the Berlin Book method of exercising the urge, but the decline of faith in the spiritual world has been cause of great concern. The Berlin Book method is not effective anymore.
That's brilliant.
There were days, of course, where even like a drop of holy water could send even a poltergeist scampering for cover. But that's all different now. On s'en est d'enfants.
I really just must beg you to do your utmost in getting this woman out of my house.
I will report the matter to the Psycho Research Society as soon as possible.
Can they do anything?
I doubt it. They'll probably send an investigation committee and do a lot of questioning and wall tapping and mumbo jumbo, and you probably have to go up to London to testify.
This is humiliating. It really is.
Oh, come now, don't upset yourself. Nothing good can come from that.
Easy for you to say. What? No, exactly nothing right about my position that I'm in.
I fully sympathize with you, Mrs. Convine, but I cannot begin to tell you how much I do not have any idea how to go about the situation.
Good. Why's that?
I wouldn't suggest going into another trance, but on top of these delicious sandwiches and the lunch I happened to have with my friends a few hours ago, going into a trance is completely out of the question.
Really?
100%.
It's horrible. It really is.
I'm sorry, but do not get so upset, Mrs. Condamine. I am trying my best. After all, I have been a professional for years. Oh, don't just stare me down like that. Come on now, I'm getting a bit insulted.
Really? Insulting. Do you realize what your insane amateurishness has done?
Might I remind you that I have been a professional for years. Amateur is not a word I can tolerate.
Seems to me to be the amateurishness to evoke malignant spirits and not be able to get rid of them again.
I was in a trance. Anything might happen when I'm in a trance.
Well, all I can suggest is that you go into another one to get this damned woman out of my house.
Like I said, I cannot go into a trance at a moment's notice. It takes hours of preparation beforehand. That in which I have to be very careful of my diet for days before.
Then you ought to do something.
Well, I told you I would report the matter to the Psycho Research Society, and I would be very much obliged if you watch your tone.
This is really humiliating.
I understand your position, Mrs. Convine, but
You really don't understand my position. I don't see how any of this simile helping to this situation at all.
might I remind you that I came here on your own invitation?
My husband's invitation.
I did not know that there was any ulterior motives involved with it.
Ulterior motives.
Yes, your husband seemed very eager to get into contact with his late wife the other night?
The only reason he brought me here is to get some ideas for some book he's writing about homicide on ego.
Am I to understand that I was invited here in a spirit of mockery?
Not entirely. He merely needed some tricks of the trade.
Oh, tricks of the trade? Insufferable! I have never been so insulted in my life. I really have nothing more to say to one another, Mrs. Convine. Goodbye.
No, please don't go. Please sit down.
Your attitude from the outset has been most unpleasant. Some of your remarks have been discourteous in the extreme. I should like to say, without umbrage, that if you and your husband were foolish enough to tamper with the unseen for paltry motives and in a spirit of ribaldry, then whatever is happening is your own fault. And, to coin a phrase, as far as I'm concerned, you can stew in your own juice.
What on earth is Madame Carty doing here?
She came to teach.
Did you ask her?
Of course I.
You haven't told me you were going to.
You never told me you were going to ask Elvira to live with us.
I didn't.
Yes, you did, darling. We took her punches.
What was the old girl so cross about? She practically cut me dead.
I told her the truth about why we invited you the other night.
That was quite unnecessary and most unkind.
She needed taking down a bit. She was blowing herself out like a powder pigeon.
Why did you ask her to tea?
To get me exercise, of course. Oh dear. I do wish I could have a cucumber sandwich. I love them so.
Is that true, Ruth?
Is what?
What Elvira said.
You know perfectly well I cannot hear what Elvira says.
She said that you had Madame Carty here to get her exercise. Is that true?
Discuss the possibilities. What is the snake in the grass for you?
You had no right to do that without consulting me.
I have every right. This whole situation is absolutely impossible, and you know it.
Only you try to be a little kinder to Elvira. We might all have quite the jolly time.
I have never spent a jolly time with Elvira.
She's very bad-tempered, isn't she? I can't think of how you made her.
She's naturally a bit upset. We must make allowances.
I was never bad-tempered, though. Darling, was I? Not even when you were beastly to me.
I was never beastly to you.
Where's Elvira?
In the chair by the table.
Now look here, Elvira. I shall have to call you Elvira, shan't I? Can't very well be going around calling this convent outside.
I don't see why.
What did she say?
She said she'd like nothing better.
Charles, darling, you really are sweet. I worship you.
Absolutely beautiful, Elvira.
Hold on to your hands, boys.
I asked Madame Carty the other night. I'm getting the views of getting you exercise, but I think if you were in the exact same position as with me, you would have done the exact same thing, wouldn't you?
I shouldn't have done it so obviously.
What did she say?
She said nothing. She just nodded and smiled.
Very kind of you, Elvira. I wish there were no misunderstandings between us.
That's very sensible, Ruth. I agree entirely.
I would just like to ask one question before we go any further. Why did you really come? I couldn't see how you could have hoped to achieve anything. Turning Charles into some astral bigamist.
Well, I came back because of how Charles' love tugged and tugged and tugged at me, didn't it, my sweet?
What did she say?
She said she came back because she wanted to see me.
Well, she's done that now, hasn't she?
Can't be inhospitable, Ruth.
I've never to be inhospitable. I just want an idea of how long we're going to stay over here.
I don't know. I really don't know. Isn't it awful?
She says she doesn't know.
Surely that's a little inconsiderate.
Didn't the old spiritualist have any constructive idea about getting rid of me?
What did Madame Carty say?
She said she couldn't do a thing.
Oh, hooray! Oh.
Don't worry, Ruth dear. We should soon adjust ourselves. You must admit it's a rather unique situation. I don't see why we shouldn't get a great deal of fun out of it.
Fun! Fun! Charles, how can you? You must be out of your mind!
Not at all. At first I thought I was, but I'm beginning to enjoy myself thoroughly.
Is she broken out again? Oh, fine. She's more off.
I'm afraid she has.
I assume she said something insulting.
No, Ruth.
Now look here, Elvira.
She's over by the window now.
Why the hell can't you stay in the same place?
Hello again. My poor Charles, what a terrible life you must lead.
Do shut up, darling. You'll only make everything worse.
Which darling is that addressed to? Her and me?
Both of you. For heaven's sake, Ruth, don't get into another state.
I have been doing my level best to control myself ever since yesterday, and I'm damned if I'm going to anymore. She has anything. She can say anything she wants, but without me being able to hear, but she can hear me all right. Then it's modified interpreting.
Modified interpreting? I don't know what you mean.
Oh, yes, you do. You've been doing it ever since yesterday morning. You haven't told me once what she really said. You wouldn't dare, judging by her photograph. She's the type who would say the most unpleasant things.
Ruth, you're not to talk like that.
I've been trying to make polite conversation all throughout dinner last night, and breakfast, and lunch, and it has been a nightmare. And I'm damned up going to do it anyway. I don't like Elvira any more than she likes me. And what's more, I never could have, dead or alive. But if, since her untimely arrival, she would have shown the slightest sign of good manners and the slightest sign of breeding, I might have felt differently about her. But all she has done is try to make mischief and have her private judgment between you against me. I'm going back to my room now. I should have my dinner on a plate. You and she can have the house to yourselves and joke and gossip all to your heart's content. The first thing in the morning, I'm going straight to the Psychical Research Society. But if they fail me, I shall go straight to the Archbishop of Canterbury.
Ruth.
Let her go. She'll come down later on.
It's unlike her to behave like this. She's generally so equable.
No, really. Her mouth goes her way. The hard mouth, Charles.
Her mouth's got nothing to do with it. I resent you talking about Ruth as though she were a horse.
Do you love her?
Of course I do.
As much as you loved me?
Don't be silly. It's all entirely different.
Well, that's better. Nothing could ever be quite the same, could it?
You always behave so badly.
Oh, Charles.
I'm now going up to try to talk to Ruth.
How do you trust her?
Don't be idiotic. You must be at least a little nice and sympathetic to her.
I don't see why. If she's set on being disagreeable, then I should just let her get on with it.
It's been difficult for her, we must be fair.
She should learn to be more adaptable.
She's been on time. It's been a shock.
Has it been a shock for you too, darling?
Of course. What did you expect?
A nice shock?
What do you want, Elvira?
Want? I don't know what you mean.
I remember whenever you were overpoweringly demure, you meant that you wanted something.
Hard of you to be so suspicious. All I want is to be with you.
You are, aren't you?
I mean alone, darling. If you go and pamper Ruth and swam her over, she'll probably come flouncing on down again, and our quiet evening will be spoiled.
You're incorrigibly selfish.
Well, I haven't seen you for 7 years. It's only natural for me to want to spend some time with you, to talk over old times. I'll let you go up just for a little while if you really think it's your duty.
Of course it is.
And I don't mind.
You're disgraceful, Elvira.
You won't be long, will you? You will come back down again very soon.
I should probably dress for dinner while I'm up there. Read the Tatler or something.
Oh, darling, you don't have to dress for me.
I always dress for dinner.
What are you going to have? I'd like to watch you something really delicious.
Be a good girl now. Play the gramophone if you like.
Thank you, Charles.
Mrs. Conmine. Just slide straight.
So relieved.
We made a good deal of fuss when I examined it. Men are much more awful patients than women, particularly high-strung men like your husband.
Is he highly strung, you think?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I want to talk to you about that. I believe he's been overworking lately.
Overworking.
Yes, I know the symptoms, of course. A change of atmosphere can work wonders.
What do you suggest?
Change of atmosphere and
The night's rest should help as well.
yes, the rest too.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Is there any symptoms you notice?
Yes, a slight strain of air, the inability to focus his eyes on the person he's talking to, and a few irrelevances in his conversations.
Can you give any examples?
Oh, he suddenly shouted, "For God's sake, what are you doing in the bathroom?" And a little later, while I was writing a prescription for him, he suddenly said, "For God's sake, behave yourself!"
How extraordinary.
He often goes on like that, particularly when he's writing a book of some sort.
I'm not the least perturbed about it, but I do believe a change and the rest would work wonders.
Thank you so much, Doctor. How's Pori?
She's still recovering from her concussion. It will take her a few days.
It is funny, isn't it, that both your housemaid and your husband should fall on the same day?
Yes, you find that sort of thing amuses you.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that, Mrs. Conmine.
Come along, darling. We're talking too much as usual.
You are horrid, George. Goodbye, Mrs. Conmine.
Goodbye.
I'll take a look at both patients sometime tomorrow morning.
Thank you so much.
So, how does it feel?
Alright.
It's a slight sprain, you know.
Is this down sling really essential?
It's a wise precaution.
I'd intended to drive into Folkestone this evening.
It would be much better if you did it.
It's extremely inconvenient.
You really couldn't wait to go another day?
Oh, I can't stand another one of those blurry evenings at home, Charles. It'll drive me dodgy. And I haven't seen a movie in 7 years.
Let me be the first to congratulate you.
What's that, old man?
Charles, be sensible, I implore you.
Sorry, I forgot.
If you do insist on going, carefully does it. Your gear change is on the right, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, use your left hand as little as possible.
Or you could just go tomorrow.
Couldn't you drive him in?
No, I have a lot to be attending to in the house. Needed to be attending to.
Well, I'll leave this to you to fight it amongst yourselves. Remember, if you do insist on going, carefully and slowly does it. The roads are very slippery anyhow.
Alright.
Come on, darling.
Goodbye again. Goodbye, Mr. Conmine.
Bye.
You really couldn't just wait and go tomorrow, Vera.
No.
And stop being like a schoolgirl. You ought to know better.
What?
I was talking to Elvira.
She isn't here.
She was a moment ago. She threw a flower to me.
She's been very high spirited today. I know this move laws usually meant that she was up to something.
Sure, she can get.
Quite sure.
I need to talk to
Oh God.
you. But must, it's important.
You have behaved rather well these last few days. You're not going to start making scenes again, are you?
I resent that air of hatred, Charles. I've behaved rather well, as you call it, because there was nothing else for me to do. But I must tell you now that I offer no guarantee for the future.
As far as I can see, the situation is just as difficult for Elvira, if not more so. After all, poor little wistful spirit comes back after all those years in that other world, and what's she faced with? Nothing but brawling and hostility.
What did she expect?
Surely even an ectoplasmic manifestation deserves a little of the milk of human kindness.
Milk of human fiddlesticks.
That just doesn't make sense, dear.
Elvira is as trusting as a puffer.
Your granite, Ruth, sheer and yielding granite.
A good deal more great dangerous as spark.
Dangerous? I've never heard anything so silly. How could a poor little wistful spirit like Elvira be dangerous?
Easily. And she just is. She's beginning to show her hand.
How do you mean? In what way?
This is a fight, Charles. A bloody battle. A duel between the dead me and Elvira. Can't you see that?
Melodramatic hysteria.
It isn't melodramatic hysteria. It's true. Can't you see?
No, I can't. You're making this up, Ruth. Jealousy causes people to have the most curious delusions.
I'm doing my best to control myself, but I must say, you're making it very difficult.
What do you suppose suppose she's been up to?
I don't really know. She's probably doing some sort of remarriage as we speak.
Ruth!
Don't you see now?
I grant you that as a character, she's always rather light and irresponsible, but I never would have suspected her of such low cunning.
Maybe the spirit wants deteriorated her.
Really, Ruth?
Why do you suppose that Edith fell down the stairs and nearly cracked her skull this morning?
What's Edith got to do with it?
The entire top of the stairs was covered in axe grease. Cook discovered it afterwards.
You're making this up, Ruth.
I'm not. I swear I'm not. Why do you suppose when you were lopping that dead branch off the pear tree that the ladder broke? It had nearly been sawn off both sides.
She just couldn't, though. Why does she want to kill me off? Like, I could understand her wanting to do evil by me.
Like I said, perhaps the spirit wants to deteriorate her.
What are we to do?
We are not to let her know we suspect her. We ought to behave as perfectly ordinary, as though nothing had happened. I'm going up to Madame Arcotta immediately. I don't care how cross she is. She's got to help with something. If the trust is necessary, she shall have to go back to one, even if I have to beat her into it. I'll be back in half an hour. Tell Elvira to come sit the bed.
This is appalling.
Never mind about that. Pretend you never had a thing. Just not as much as a flick of an eyelid. Yeah.
Look out!
What?
I merely said it's a nice lookout.
What's nice about?
The weather out here, the bus is going down and down and down. It's positively macabre.
I find it very hard to believe that you and Ruth, at this particular moment, had nothing more interesting to talk about than the weather.
I really can't.
I've been sick, Ruth.
Has she broken up again?
Yes, I'm afraid she has.
Where's Elvira?
Yeah, on the sofa.
How dare you talk like that, Elvira? I should have presented you. Say it again.
Now then, Ruth.
Yeah. Anyways, I should have presented that we were talking anything other than the weather, as you so shrewdly suspected. I should like you to think that we were talking about anything else. As me and Charles were talking about, I was trying to persuade him not to take him to Folkestone, as it would be bad for his honor. You could perfectly easily wait until tomorrow. But as he seems to be determined to put your wishes before mine, I think I have nothing further to say. I hope you both enjoy yourselves.
Now then.
Oh, Charles, you didn't easily to her?
No, Ruth doesn't like being thwarted any more than you do.
She's a woman of sterling character. It's a pity she's so giving.
I'd rather not discuss Ruth with you.
I won't mention her again. Are you ready?
What for?
To go to Folkestone, of course.
I want you guys to share it first.
I don't believe you want to take me at all.
Of course I do, but I really think it would be better to wait until tomorrow. It's filthy night.
How familiar this is.
In what way familiar?
All throughout my life, I only had to suggest something for you to immediately stop hedging me off.
I'm not hedging off. I merely said.
All right. We'll have another cozy, intimate evening at home with Ruth sewing your haircut, hideous table center, and snapping at us like a terrier.
Ruth is perfectly aware that that table center is hideous. Happens to be present for her mother.
There's no use trying to defend Ruth's taste in me. It's thoroughly artsy crafty and you know it.
It is not arts and craftsy.
She ruined this room. Look at those curtains and that awful show on the piano.
Lady McKinley sent it to us from Burma.
Obviously, because it had been sent to her from Birmingham.
If you don't behave yourself, we shan't take you to her tonight ever.
Please, Charles, don't be utterly ingrounded with music. Let's go now.
Not until I've had my sherry.
You are tiresome, darling. I've been waiting for us for hours.
A few more minutes won't make any difference then.
Very well.
Besides, the car won't be back for at least another half hour.
What do you mean?
Ruth's taking it. She had to go and see the vicar.
What?
What's the matter?
You say Ruth's taking the car?
Yes, to go and see the vicar, but she won't be long.
Oh my god.
Elvira!
Oh my god. You have to go out and stop her at once.
It's too late now. I had to go a couple minutes ago.
Oh. No. Go out and stop her immediately.
What are you in such a state for? What have you done?
Done. I haven't done anything.
Elvira, you're lying.
I'm not lying. What is there to lie about?
You've done something dreadful.
No, I haven't done anything. Trust me, haven't.
My God, the car!
You did look at me, Charles.
Ruth is right. You didn't want to kill me. You've done something dreadful to the car.
No, Charles, no.
What did you do? Answer me!
Oh,
Hello? Yeah, speaking. I see. The bridge of the Belmont. No, come on.
Oh, the filthy low-down pricks! Ow! My ow! Ow! Stop! Get out and leave! Oh my, ow! Rude! Oh, stay away! Ah!
I hope you will not consider this an intrusion, Mr. Conroy.
Not at all. Please sit down.
Oh, thank you.
Would you like some coffee or liqueur?
No, thank you. I had to come, Mr. Conroy.
Yes.
I reproach myself bitterly, you know.
Please don't. There's no necessity for that.
I allowed myself to get into a huff with your late wife the other day, and I wrote home with a grip protector. I've regretted it ever since.
But my dear Madam McCarthy.
No, let me go on. Mine is the shame, mine is the blame. I shall never forgive myself.
You told my wife distinctly that there was nothing whatsoever to be done. Apart from the original unfortunate mistake, I see no reason to reproach yourself.
I threw up the sponge. In a moment of crisis, I threw up the sponge instead of throwing down the gauntlet.
Whatever you do, Madam McCarthy, I very much fear nothing could have been done. It would appear that circumstances have been a bit too strong for all of us lately.
I cannot bring myself to admit defeat so easily. I could have at least concentrated, made an effort.
Never mind.
I do mind. I mind strongly. I mind with every fiber of my being. I cannot help it. I gather that we're alone.
My first wife is not in the room. The funeral was after, you know. I assume my second wife is with her, however, I have no way of knowing for certain.
I've been doing a lot of thinking and reading over the last few dreadful days. Have you noticed any difference in the texture of your wife?
No, she seems as much as usual. Trifle low spirited, but that's all.
Well, that washes that out.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Just a little theory I had. It was widely believed in the 17th century that any ghost that had a hand in the death of a human being would be disintegrated immediately.
How do you know that Elvira was in any way responsible for Ruth's death?
Elvira. Such a pretty name. It has a definite lilt to it, doesn't it? Elvira. Elvira.
Haven't answered my question. How did you know?
Well, it came to me last night, Mr. Conroy. It came to me in a blinding flash. I had just finished my Ovaltine and turned out the lights when I suddenly started up in bed. Great Scott, I said, I've got it! And then I began to put two and two together. And then at 3 in the morning, with my brain fairly seething, I began to work on my crystal. But it wasn't very satisfactory. Neither, you know?
I'm afraid I don't.
My one desire is to help you, Mr. Conroy. And I fully sympathize with your situation. But I have a theory. It's here. I copied it off of Edmondson's Witchcraft in his Bibles.
What the hell are you on about?
You're still anxious to dematerialize your first wife, I suppose.
Of course, I'm perfectly fierce with her, but...
But what?
Well, you see, she's been having quite a bad time. Apart from me being quite upset with her, which she always is, even when she was alive, my second wife, Ruth, has hardly left aside for a moment. You must see that she's been having quite the awful time with one thing and another.
Your delicacy of feeling does you great credit, Mr. Conroy, but I must say, if you'll excuse my bluntness, that you are a damn fool.
You're at liberty to think whatever you please.
Come now, get off your high horse. There's no need for that. I have a formula here that can dematerialize your first wife without hurting her feelings in the slightest.
Honestly, I would rather...
Charles!
What's the matter?
Oh, what is she
to offer me condolences.
They should have been congratulations.
Elvira, you're not to talk like that. Madam McCarthy, would you please allow me to introduce you to my first wife, Elvira?
How do you do?
What does she want, Charles? Please, just send her away.
Really, Elvira? I'm surprised at you.
I don't care how surprised you are. I'm sick of the whole thing. I want to go home.
Don't be childish.
I'm not being childish. I mean it.
Interesting. Very interesting. I smell ectoplasm very strongly.
What a disgusting thing to say.
Where is she now?
Here, close to me.
Oh, dear. Oh, my dear. Are you happy?
Tell us till your bitch to mind your own business.
Was the journey long? Are you weary?
Daddy.
Madam McCarthy.
This is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
For God's sakes, Charles. Get her into another room.
My dear Madam McCarthy.
Wait. I'm almost establishing contact. I can feel the vibrations.
Go on, Elvira. Don't be a spoilsport. Give her a bit of encouragement.
Promise to get her into the other room.
All right.
Yes, again.
How was that?
Oh, this is first rate. Absolutely first rate.
I'm so glad you're pleased.
Get rid of her. Ruth will be in a minute.
Madam McCarthy, would you consider it most frightfully rude if I asked you to go into the dining room for a moment? My first wife wishes to speak with me alone.
Oh, must I? It was so lovely being here with the darling.
Only for a few minutes. She'll be here when you get back, I promise.
Well then, will you please be a dear and get me my bag? It's on the settee. Darling!
Here you are. How good is she really?
I don't know.
Do you really think she can get me back again?
But my dear child.
Don't call me a dear child. It's not even supercilious.
Well, oh, Vera. Shocked, honestly.
This whole thing's been a failure. A miserable, daring failure, and oh, what high hopes I started out with.
You can't expect much sympathy from me now. I'm perfectly aware your highest hope is to murder me.
Don't put it like that. Sounds beastly.
It is beastly. It's one of the beastliest things I've ever heard.
There was once a time when you would have welcomed the chance of being with me forever and ever.
Your behavior shocked me immeasurably. I had no idea you're so unscrupulous.
Charles.
For heaven's sake, don't snivel.
They're only ghosts too. They don't mean anything really, but they are really painful.
You brought all this upon yourself, you know.
That's right. Remember you did. It was only because I loved you. The silliest thing I ever did my whole entire life was to love you. You were so unworthy of me.
That remark was perilously near impertinence, Elvira.
I sat there on the other side just longing for you. Day after day, I did, really. And all through your affair with that brassy-looking woman in the south of France, I went on loving you and thinking truly of you. And then you married Ruth, and even then I tried to forgive you, because deep down I believed that you truly loved me best. That's why I put myself down for return visits and had to fill in all those forms and go to drafty passages for hours. If only you would have died before you met Ruth, everything might have been alright. She absolutely ruined you, and I hadn't been in this house a day before I had realized that. Your books aren't even a quarter as they used to be.
That is entirely untrue. Ruth helped me and supported me, which is a sight more than you ever did.
It's probably what's wrong with it.
All you ever thought of was going to parties and enjoying yourself.
I died young, didn't I? Why shouldn't I have fun?
You needn't have died at all if you hadn't gone out on the river with Guy Henderson and gotten soaked to the skin.
So we're back in Blithe Henderson again, are we?
You behaved abominably over Guy Henderson. It's no use pretending you didn't.
I can't believe you. Guy Henderson adored me. And he was very attractive.
You told me distinctly he didn't attract you in the least.
You would have went through the roof if I had told you that he did.
Did you have an affair with Guy Henderson?
I'd rather not discuss it.
Answer me. Did you or didn't you?
Of course I didn't.
You let him kiss you though, didn't you?
He was bigger than I was. How could I stop it?
And you swore to me.
Of course I did. You were always making a scene of it. Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
She never loved me one bit. It was only a beastly vanity.
You seriously expect it was only vanity that got upset with you when you went out on the hunt for Guy Henderson?
It was not a hunt. It was a little launch.
I don't care if it was a three-masted schooner. You had nowhere to go.
You seem to forget why I went. You seem to forget that you had spent the entire evening making sheep's eye at the overload Harriet Lane with a false pearl.
A woman in Cynthia Chevier's position will hardly wear false pearls.
It was practically all she was wearing.
I'm grieved to see that your sojourn in the otherworld hasn't in any way improved you.
Hasn't improved me.
I miss you. Well,
That was a remark. Oh, promise ass.
fed up with you, Elvira.
You always said that when you really were sick.
On looking back on our married years, I now see with horrid clarity that they are nothing but a mockery.
You invite mockery, Charles. Has something to do with your personality, I think. Celia Gunda.
All the brazen sophistry.
You never suspected it. But I laughed at you steadily from the altar to the grave. With all your petty jealousies and your ridiculous hustles and fumings.
You were feckless and irresponsible and morally unstable. I realized that before we left Budleigh Salterton.
Only a monumental bore would have thought of to have a honeymoon in Budleigh Salterton.
What's the matter with Budleigh Salterton?
I was a young bride, Charles. I wanted glamour, music, romance, and all I got was potted palms, 7 days an hour on a damn golf course, and a three-piece orchestra playing England.
It's a pity you didn't tell me so at the time.
I did, but you wouldn't listen. That's why I went on the moors that day with Captain Brycefield.
You sort of you'd gone out to with your aunt next month.
It was the moors
With Captain Bracegirdle.
with Captain Brycefield.
I might have known. What a fool I was. What a blindfold. Did they make love to you?
Oh, but of course.
Oh, Vera.
It was only a bit discreetly, though. He was in the cavalry, you know?
Well, all I can say is long rid of you.
Unfortunately, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am. You're dead, Bruce dead. I shall sell this house, lock, stock, and barrel, and go away.
I shall follow you.
I should go somewhere far away. I should go to South America. You'll hate it there. You're always such a bad traveler.
That can't be helped. I shall have to follow you. You called me back.
I did not.
Well, somebody did, and it's highly likely to have been Ruth.
Nothing in the world was farther from my thoughts.
You were talking about me before dinner that evening.
I might have just as well been talking about Joan of Arc. I didn't mean I wanted her to come and live with me.
As a matter of fact, she's rather fun.
Stick to the point.
When I think of what might have happened if I had succeeded in getting you into the other world, it makes me shudder. Just really. It would be nothing but bickering and scrabbling forever and ever. I swear I'd be better off with Ruth. At least she'll have her own sense and won't get in my way.
So I get in your way, do I?
Only because I was idiotic enough to believe that you loved me. And I sort of felt sorry for you.
I'm sick of these insults. Please go away.
I would like nothing better. I always believed in cutting my losses. That's why I died.
Oh my God, Elvira.
Call that old girl in again. Set her to work.
I couldn't agree more. The sooner the better. Anna McCarthy, would you please come in now?
Is the darling still here?
Yes.
Where? Tell me where.
Over by the piano.
Oh my dear, oh my dear.
Oh, stop frowning on me. Or she'll break something, Charles.
Elvira and I have discussed the whole situation, and we have both agreed that she must go home as soon as possible.
Home?
Wherever she came from.
Oh, should she like to stay for a little bit longer while I get everything more organized?
No, I want to go now.
I could bring my crystal. I could come here and stay with her.
Oh, God forbid.
We have both agreed that she must go back as soon as possible. Please, strain every nerve, Anna McCarthy. Make an effort. You said something about a formula. What is it?
Well, if you insist.
I most emphatically do insist.
Oh, Charles.
I don't.
Shut up.
I cannot promise anything might happen, but I'll try my best, of course, but it may not work.
I see. What is the formula?
I'm nothing but a little bird, really. It fell out of disuse in the 17th century. I shall need some pepper and salt.
There's some pepper and salt in the dining room. I'll get it.
We shall, of course, need some shepherd's wort and a frog or two, but I think I shall do without. You won't be frightened, dear. It will be absolutely painless.
Will this be enough?
Oh, yes, I only need a little. Place it right here on the table. Oh, yes. Sprinkle it in the middle. Right there, yes, just a soup sit.
Oh, this whole thing's going to be a flop. I can tell you that right here and right now.
Now, if you snapdragon from that vase over there, there's a good chap.
Here you are.
Merlin used to do all this sort of stuff at parties and go stiff with it all.
Now, for the gramophone. In the olden days, we would have used a zither or reed pipes, but I think we shall do without. We should have the same record as before, I should think.
Whatever you think best, Madam Arcadi.
I'll get it.
Oh, if that Mr. Emsworth from the Psychical Research Society could see this, he'd have a fit. He would, really. Don't start it yet, dear. Now, if you could sit by the table and place your hands gently upon it.
This is
Don't let your fingers touch the pepper. I shall join you in a moment. Now, if your wife would be kind enough as to lie down on the sofa, please.
Go on over here.
This is sheer nonsense. Don't blame me if I get the giggles.
Concentrate. Think of nothing.
Yes. That's right. Quite right, yes. Legs outstretched, hands by the side. Ah, breathe steadily. 1, 2. 1, 2. Is she comfortable?
Are you comfortable over here?
No.
She's quite comfortable.
Oh, lovely. Now, start the. Oh, I nearly forgot. 1 triangle, a half circle, and 1 little dot. There. Now, I may go into a trance, and if I do, pay me no mind. Now for the music, and away we go.
Bless you!
Was your dear pepper?
Damn.
Shh. Hold on to yourself. Concentrate. Ghostly spectre, ghoul or fiend, nevermore be thou convened. Shepherd's wart, holy rite, banish thee to the night.
What a disagreeable little buzz.
Be quiet, Elvira.
Is there anyone there? Is there anyone there? 1 rap for yes, 2 raps for no. Now then, is there anyone there? Oh, good stuff. Is that you, Daphne? I'm sorry to disturb you, dear, but I have a request. Mrs. Condamine wishes to return. Oh, Daphne, did you hear what I said? Can you help us? Oh, hold on to it, Mrs. Condamine. It's getting away. No, no.
Oh my god. Are you alright, Madam Arcadi? What on earth's happening? Are you hurt?
She said, what if we're down trances again? And I'm, yes, much like ever was.
Madam Arcadi. Please wake up.
Leave her alone. Having a well of a time.
in my trance, it shivered through me.
Once and for all, Charles, what the hell does this mean? Well, we've done all we can. And I must say, I couldn't be more exhausted.
But we did like to.
That clock is always irritating me. It strikes far too slowly.
It was a present from Uncle Walter.
It's Uncle Walter.
Vera's.
Well, all I could say is, could have chosen something a little more decorative.
If that's all you can say, Ruth, I'm sure it would bring great comfort to us all.
You can be as rude as you like up here. You know what? I don't mind a bit. As a matter of fact, I'd be surprised if you weren't.
Why?
The reply to that is really too obvious.
I wish you would stop bickering for just 1 minute.
This is quite the most infuriating night I've ever spent.
The reply to that is pretty obvious, too.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean.
Skip it.
Now look here, Ira. If you and I have got to stay here together indefinitely, and it's looking unpleasantly likely, then we have got to come to some sort of an arrangement.
What sort of arrangement?
You two are not staying here indefinitely.
With you then. We shall have to stay with you.
I can see why. Why didn't you two get a cottage somewhere?
You called us back.
I've already explained until I'm blue in the face that I did nothing of the sort.
Madame Arcati said you did.
Madame McCarthy's a muddling old fool.
I could have told you not in the first place.
It's really no use arguing anymore. Make it better, Madame Arcati.
Please wake up, Madame McCarthy.
Shake her.
Might upset her.
I don't care if it kills her.
Please wake up, Madame McCarthy.
Well, what time is it?
5:10.
And when did I go off?
Half an hour ago.
Curious. I must make note of that for my diary. Are the girls still here?
Yes.
How disappointing.
Shut up. Never give in.
That's my motto.
Google's phraseology is driving me mad.
Now then. How about we have another seance and really put our backs into it? Make this one a real rouser.
For God's sakes, please do not let her have another stay on.
Madame McCarthy, don't you think that perhaps we've had enough seances?
Oh.
They haven't achieved much, you know.
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day, you know.
I know it wasn't, but
Well then, cheer up. Away with the melancholy.
Madame McCarthy, before you go off into any further trance, I really do think we should discuss the situation a little.
Oh, a perfect decision. But before that, I must help myself to one of these delicious sandwiches.
Like some more beer.
Oh no, I really shouldn't.
Very well. I think I shall have a small sweet soda.
Make it a double and enjoy yourself.
I intend to give Madame Arcati one day to tell her exactly how I feel about her.
Are the girls getting despondent?
I'm afraid they are, rather.
Oh, don't worry. We'll win through yet. Now with the discussion. Fire away.
Well, the wives are both absolutely convinced, and I somehow have hold them back.
No, very natural.
I'm convinced that I did not.
Love is a strong psychic force, Mr. Condamine. A true love can encompass the universe.
I'm sure I can. Or I must confess that while my love for both Ruth and Ogre is of the warmest, I cannot feel it truthfully comes in the heading you described.
Well, you may not be aware of your own power, Mr. Condamine.
That is my final word on the subject.
Well, they wouldn't have been able to come unless somebody, a psychic subject, wished them to return.
Was me.
Are you sure?
Absolutely positive.
Are you really sure?
Yes.
Great Scott! I believe I've been barking up the wrong tree!
I'm afraid I don't understand.
The submarine case.
Oh, well, what was the subject? Sorry, I wish you explained.
I wouldn't expect you to know it was before your time. That was the case that made me famous.
Go ahead.
Well, I had letters from all over the world, especially India. It is what we would refer to in the theatre parlance as my first smash hit.
Yes, of course. What did you do?
I dematerialized Miss Sudbury Sudbury, who had been entrenched in the chapel for over 19 years.
I see. How? You remember how?
Oh, chance, a pure fluke. I happened upon it by the merest coincidence.
What fluke? What was it?
Wait, all that will come later. Who was in the room the night of the first seance?
Let's see. Only you, the Bradmans, Ruth, and me.
Yes, to be sure. But the Bradmans weren't here last night, were they?
No.
Quickly, my crystal.
Yeah.
Damn thing. It gives me the pip. Oh. Oh. It's becoming clearer. I'm beginning to understand.
I wish I was. What's that again?
The bandage. The white bandage. Hold on to the white bandage.
I haven't got a white bandage.
She's too good. She ought to be in a circus.
Be you in nook or cranny, answer me. Be you beneath the eaves, above the stairs, answer me. Be you in still room or closet, waking or sleeping, answer me. That ought to do it, or I'm a Dutchman.
Do what?
Hush, wait.
Don't let her throw any more that garlic out. It nearly made me sick last time.
Would you like the ground car? Oh, no, the lights out. Anything?
No, it's near. It's very near.
If it's your kiss, then I shall scream.
Nobody knows. That's silly.
Did you notice that?
The bandage! The white bandage!
No, Edith.
I'm sorry, sir. I could have sworn I heard the bell. Somebody calling. I was asleep. I don't really know what it was.
Come here, child.
Go on. No matter what talking, it's better, right?
Who do you see in this room, child?
Oh dear.
Go on.
You mind?
Anyone else?
The master?
Go ahead.
Never mind.
She's lying. Come, child. Don't beat about the bush. Who do you see in this room?
Still up here. Concentrate.
I can't.
She is lying. They always do.
They?
Where are they now? By the fireplace.
She can see them. Do you mean that she can see them?
Not very clearly, but enough.
Let me go. I haven't done nothing. Nothing. Nobody. Let me go back to bed.
Give her a sandwich.
I don't want a sandwich. I want to go back to bed.
Here it is.
Nonsense. A girl like you, big, strong, and healthy, denying a sandwich? Never heard of such a thing. Sit down.
Sam,
Let's do as Matt's party says, Edith.
I haven't done nothing wrong.
It's alright, nobody said you out.
She's been the reason of all this unpleasantness. I shall give you a week's notice tomorrow.
You may not be here tomorrow.
Look at me, Edith.
Go! Dear, what's wrong with her? Is she balmy?
Look at my finger, Edith. Have you ever seen such a long, long, long finger? Backwards and forwards it goes. Left, right, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
There must be another clock.
I know everything.
She's off, all right.
Off?
Yes, she's a natural. Exactly the same as the Sudbury case. It really is the most amusing coincidence. Now, if you'll ask your wife to stand close together, please.
Where?
Over there, by you.
Elvira, Ruth.
God, I resent people who's around me.
I don't like any of this. I don't like it at all.
I'm afraid I must insist.
Says you right and flatly refuse to do anything.
Now, Edith, are you sorry for having been so mischievous?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Now, Edith, you know what you must do, don't you?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I believe this is goodbye, Charles. Charles? This is goodbye.
Oh, wait. Tell us stop. There's something I want to say before I get.
It's too late now. It's.
All the mean, ungracious.
Charles,
be getting rid of us quite so easily, my dear. You may not be able to see us, but we shall be here all right. I consider that you behaved atrociously throughout the whole business. I should like to say there and now.
Splendid! Hurrah! We've done it! That's quite enough singing for now, Edith.
Shall I turn on the lights?
No, I will.
They've gone. They've really gone.
I believe we've really done it this time.
Better wake up, hadn't you? Should bring them back again.
Wake up, child. Look, Alex, where am I?
Sorry, you can go back to bed now.
Why it's morning?
Yes, I know it is.
But I was in bed. How did you get in?
I rang the bell and you came. Isn't that right, man, McCarthy?
I don't know if you fit back in the cushion again, dear.
It's alright, Edith. Thank you. Thank you very much. Very much indeed.
So, what for?
What on earth was that about?
Golly, what a night. I'm ready to drop in my tracks.
Would you like to stay here? There's the spare room, you know.
Oh, no. Each to his own nest, you know. I'll pedal home in a jiffy. It's only 7 miles.
I don't know what arrangements you generally make, but I trust it's under account in due course.
Oh, Mr. Condamine, I wouldn't dream of it.
But I feel all those chances.
I enjoy them. I have since I was a child. I do.
Perhaps you'd give me the pleasure of lunching with me one day soon.
When you return, I should be delighted.
I'm sorry, return?
This must be a very unhappy house for you, filled with memories both grave and gay in every corner. Also
what?
there are more things in heaven and earth, Mr. Condamine. Just take my advice, pack your traps, and go as far away as possible.
You still may be here.
Can't stop it, as the Spanish say.
I wonder. I'll take your advice, Madam Fox, and I'll go away. And thank you again. Very much.
Oh, this has been fascinating. From first to last, fascinating. As I go, allow me to help myself to one more of these sandwiches.
Of course, by all means.
Oh, I can find my own way out. It's all right. Cheerio once more and good hunting.
Elvira? Ruth? Are you there? Elvira? Ruth? I know damn well you're there. I just want to say I'm going away, so there's no point in me hanging about any longer. I'm going a long way, somewhere where I don't believe you'll be able to follow. Is that quite clear, my darlings? You said in one of your more acid moments, Ruth, that I'd been haggard all my life. How right you were! And I'm free, not only of Mother and Elvira and Mrs. Winthrop alone, but free of you too. And I should like to take this farewell opportunity of saying, I'm enjoying it immensely. Aha! I thought so. You were foolish over here to think I didn't know all about you, Captain Bracegirdle. I did. But what you didn't know is that I was extremely touched. Paula Westlake at the time. I was reasonably faithful to you, Ruth, but I doubt it would have lasted much longer. You're becoming increasingly domineering. And there's nothing more fitting than that, is there? Goodbye for the moment, my dears. I expect we're bound to meet again, but until we do, I'm going to enjoy myself as I've never enjoyed myself before. You can break up the house as much as you like. I'm leaving it anyhow. Think kindly of me and send good thoughts. Nice work, Ruth. Get over here to help you. Persevere. Goodbye again. Parting is such a sweet sorrow.